Zach,
Yo.
I'm sitting in my desk and I'm like, oh, I got like an hour to kill before the show. I'm going to relax, take a few pictures. My phone died, so I was waiting for it to charge. And I was
Wow.
like, I'll send the new this week with an hour to spare because I just got home.
I mean, it's usually
And
due at
then,
lunch, but
and
I mean,
yeah, my
hours
phone's
there.
dead and I hear my iPad ringing. I'm like, who the hell's calling me? I look and it's you. And right as I go to answer, it turns off and then you say, where are you? And I look at the time. I'm like 8:30. The clock in my truck is wrong by an hour. It said it was 7:30.
Who
So
still
I'm like,
uses the clock in their truck, though? Come on.
well, I've been in my
Crazy how
truck
much
all
you're doing
day. I had a lot of shit to do today, and I'm like taking my sweet ass time home. I didn't even complete. That's my bad, guys. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, baby.
Hate
It's
to see
okay.
it. You're supposed
Really
to be
okay.
the. See, these guys here, they're gonna see you fucking around, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, my truck was, the clock was wrong on my truck too." They're gonna
Well,
learn your
they
bad
don't
habits,
have,
Steve.
they don't
Well,
have trucks.
Marco drives
I
a
have
smart car. Come on.
I have a GTI, so we're
Wow.
good. We're good.
It's
It sets its clock
it's not
automatically.
a smart car, first of all.
Oh, it's a dumb car.
Oh, you have
Okay.
a smart car?
Dude, how
I
smart
definitely
is your
have
car,
the-
bro? Can I
I
do my
definitely have the
taxes?
energy of a smart car owner,
those-
but I don't own one.
It's the tuna
Wow, it's
cans,
got
right?
two
We used
houses,
to own a
got the
smart car. They're really nice.
I don't think
Oh,
I
the
fit in a
half
smart
libs.
car.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
So you'll find.
Jesus Christ.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
You got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Shall we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
And Dean,
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Marco.
that's beautiful.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where
Wow.
What?
Yeah, hate
It's
to
been
see it.
so long since you messed up. You
What?
okay?
No, I'm like glitching over here.
You all right,
I'm,
there, bro?
I'm glitching. I don't.
You're not glitching on our end.
Oh, the
Yeah, you're
hell? That was
fine.
so
You're
weird.
just like
I was doing
stopping.
the intro, and in the middle of my intro, Dean goes, "That's beautiful," and I was like,
I
"What's
said that
beautiful?"
way before that. That's weird.
Wow, the lights were too bright.
Wow, no, my Wi-Fi freaked out for a second. Let's start over. First off, how dare you? Every single one of you on this chat on the list. Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Marco.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our friends over at 1/6 Corner for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. Guys, don't forget to use code CW10, that's capital CW10, during our live recording for 10% off all in-stock items. So head over there and check it out.
Wow. First off, Equan, how dare you? Did the Lego Falcon fall on Zach's head? That's the ugliest thing. That I mounted this Falcon beautifully, very sturdy.
You have a Lego
And
Falcon?
No, I don't. It's first
Oh.
off, it's not even a Lego Falcon.
What a
And
dingus.
yeah, apparently people thought I had a mini stroke. No, I literally in my headphones, I'm doing the intro, and I just hear that's beautiful. And I'm
Oh,
like, "What's
I said that
beautiful?"
way before you started talking. I said it after
When did you say
Marco.
that?
Right after Marco said, and I'm Marco. I was like, wow, that's beautiful because we all got it.
Well, why would you interrupt me? I was like, I was still.
But you
14
hadn't
at
started
that
talking. There was like a 3-second gap of nothing. So I said, that's beautiful.
That is so weird. It's a glitch in the Matrix. We got Toy Mafia, Lane Kramer, Punisher XS, Brenton Palmer in the chat. We also have Sam Gist, David Jones, Absolute Irwin, Sweet Angel, Equan. Maybe not Equan. He's not. Yeah. Big Collector. Sam says, did Dean get paid for 2 hours extra of work today? We got Paul Schreiber. Who is Mike Jones? Excited to be here, boys. and John Ortiz. Dean, we have a very special segment that we kick all of the shows off with before we share the news. You want to kick us off there?
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Zach, you're lagging hard, brother.
You hate to see it.
I know. I'm going to figure this out. Just, keep going and I will figure this out.
Should I get Google Chrome ready?
Yeah, so yeah.
You should have it ready at all times. What do you mean?
What'd you get new this week? I had a pretty easy week. Oh, now it's me. What the heck? So kick it off. Yeah, I got the 1/6 scale Miyamoto Musashi 2.0.
The what?
Miyamoto Musashi. It's one of those. You're not gonna know. Historical figure. He didn't really look like this, but this is from a manga called Vagabonds, but it's about Musashi. I picked this up from Sweet Cody, our dungeon master, D&D, not perverted. I also got the Dark Knight Batman from McFarlane. This thing is fucking amazing, by the way.
Thing looks beefy.
It's huge. For $20, bro. It was on sale on Amazon. 2021 shipped after tax, so
Damn, not bad.
love to see it. Also got from BBTS, I had a pile of loot that was just sitting there for like months. I got Tech from the Bad Batch, Wrecker from the Bad Batch, all black series, and Casca Reeves from The Mandalorian.
Very nice.
Yeah, so happy to add those to the collection. And then I got 2 comics in the mail today.
Wow, you're having quite the week.
Ooh,
Yeah, dude.
Go big or go home.
CGC 9.8 Harley Quinn number 75. This is the KRS Comics Edition A. I guess they have several versions. So it's her jumping over Punchline, looking all sexy. On the back, it says KRS Comics. I guess they did some exclusives. And then also Harley Quinn number 75 reverse with Punchline jumping over Harley. This is the Black Flag Comics Edition B. And on the back it says Black Flag Comics. So both of these 9.8s Punchline, that's pretty much why I got it. But I have a bunch of Joker in Punchline, but I didn't have any Harley Quinn in Punchline, so that's fixed. So
Very
now
cool.
I have 7 Punchline books. So there we go.
At what point do you get to say I have all the Punchline books?
I think this is it. I don't. There's other covers that are really cool, but they're just variants of books I already have. So
Yeah.
I don't really. Honestly, there are very cool covers, but not that I'm willing to spend the money on. So I got these real cheap. They're $50 each. So
Nice.
yeah. So not a bad deal.
And what about that life-size Tifa? You bringing that one home?
Bro,
or-
I wish. I think that's just some guy in his fucking closet with.
Wow.
Wait, hold on.
I
There's a
hadn't
life-size Tifa.
Yeah, I
you
posted
have to
it
check
on
out this
Ox.
post.
That's for real a sex doll.
Can you tag him in it, Marco?
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now. I hadn't seen all the
my
pictures,
gosh.
and so I went back and like the further you get, the cooler it gets. Let's just put it that way. It's pretty intense.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I
mean,
would not
she's
doubt it's
also
beautiful.
like a fucking goddess. So
Yeah.
just imagine
facts.
that in life size. But what about you guys?
Yusby.
Yeah, so you just pulled it up there. I got this one. This is Game Toys Sephiroth. It's this thing evaporated off the face of the earth basically as soon as it came out. Him and Cloud both did.
Jealous.
I think Cloud went up for order first, but Sephiroth came out actually before. So got him his sword. The Master Mune is gigantic. It's taller than he is, and he's a tall figure. I think he's like 14 inches tall, 13, 14 inches tall, and that thing's taller than he is, and it's full on 100% diecast. So it's beefy.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so
I just
Sephiroth is 6'2", and that
Yeah.
sword is like 7 feet long, I think.
yeah. It's
Canonically?
awesome.
Yeah.
So the Game Toys knocked it out of the park with this one. I'm trying to find a version of their Cloud, but yeah, all the materials are great. I mean, it's like a pleather material, I think, but it's more, it's softer than the sort of stuff that Hot Toys uses. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but the materials are all great. The sculpting is great. they did something that I wish Hot Toys would do a lot. His shoulder pads they're magnetic, so it's got like a strap that goes under his armpit. It goes around, and then it's got 2 magnetic points in his traps that it connects to. So, you don't have to worry about him popping off or falling off or anything like that. And yeah, fantastic figure. Just got him in the mail yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to like pose him up or anything like that. But
a couple things.
What's up?
One, whenever you sell this, you hit me up first.
Yeah, 100%.
2, Sephiroth's outfit really doesn't change that much. In this version, his belt is a little more ornate.
Yeah.
But you could theoretically pick up the Advent Children Cloud and futz this into the shelf, and it would be fine.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, obviously you want the remake Cloud, but you could. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, 100%. I have the AC one on order, so if I can't find them for a reasonable number, I'll just stick with that one.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, super excited jealous about this one to add this to the collection. Super great. And then the other one I got, this one is from Sweet Angel Mario. He smuggled this from Disneyland for me. This is the K2SO lightsaber, legacy lightsaber that just came out.
I think he meant to send that to me, and he accidentally sent it to you.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, yeah. Actually, I don't think he did. I think he meant to send it to me.
How's the damaged part? Because that always looks too manufactured to me.
Yeah, it's
not terrible.
It's not terrible. I mean, the stuff that they do is pretty well designed. I mean, up close, it kind of, breaks the illusion a little bit. But yeah, I mean, standard distance, it looks really, really good. This part detaches, it screws off at the hip right here, and so when you get 2, you can actually attach them together to form a saber staff. So let me get this one right here. Plug in a blade. But yeah, I mean, K2SO or the Fallen Order is one of the best Star Wars games that have come out in a long, long time. So really happy to get this one. But
USB Sam wants to know the price point on the saber.
I believe it was about $170 out the door with tax, so it's probably like $160 something plus tax. Yeah, so about that. But turn this on. Beautiful. So I got to replace the batteries, and it'll get a little bit louder and stuff like that. But yeah, it's
does this awesome one saber. Have the crystal that you could reveal, or is it just like a solid chassis?
This one is a solid chassis. All their legacy sabers that are based off sort of main characters' lightsabers or whatever, they're all just solid, no chambers, except for the Clone Wars Darth Maul. It didn't have a crystal chamber, but it had like
the cage, I think.
Cage or something like that where you can kind of see it, but that's the only one. So, yeah.
Marco, maybe I missed it when I was grabbing that Ethernet cord, but did you have anything new this week?
Unfortunately, I don't. I've been trying to be good after ordering that Queen Studios Joker 2-pack and going hard there. So, trying to save my beans for the end of the year. Yeah.
I'm sure Gigi is thankful.
Yeah. Plus, I had a last-second trip to Vegas that, set me back a little bit. So, trying to be good for a few weeks here.
Wow. So I picked up, this isn't really figure related, but Dean and I have been talking the past few weeks about like kind of working on like home theater stuff, like really improving our visual, like when you're watching movies and stuff. So I picked up the Govee Smart LED set from Amazon. They were $80 was the retail price, but there was a $20 coupon that you could apply. And basically what it is it's 4 LED strips that are all connected, and they mount to the perimeter of your television. And if you look at the top, there's like a little box on top of the television, and it's actually a camera that in real time like captures what's on the screen, and it adjusts the LEDs accordingly. And it's pretty fucking awesome. So here I was kind of configuring it so you put these little orange dots on your television, you kind of let it know how big your TV is and where the dots line up. But the first thing I had to test was the Balrog fight from the Fellowship of the Ring, and it was fucking incredible. And then I watched a few Star Wars movies just to kind of check it out. So this was The Force Awakens, and you got like that red on one side and the blue on the other, and it's actually pretty neat. So it's not really like different zones per each strip. Like each strip, like I almost feel like each LED or every few LEDs can actually change independently, which is really neat. And it's really responsive. Like if you put your hand in front of the camera, like it'll instantly like change colors. So for things like space battles, or like blaster battles or, any kind of, quick action. It's pretty fucking nice. And for $60, I think it was a pretty sweet purchase. So I picked up that, but collecting wise, I picked up a 3-pack of the Hobbit comics that were graded. Got these at a really good price. I think the price I paid for them per book was less than the price to get them graded by the presser where we get it pressed and graded. So, that doesn't even include the raw price of the book, which for one of these books in a mint/near mint, like 9.0 and up condition, you're probably looking at about $30-$40 raw. And so Mark and I pretty much stole this set. Mark, if you're watching, I will ship out your stuff hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, this was a set we've been watching for about 3 months and kind of played the long game for that. So I think when they started, they were $300, and we got it all the way down to $150 for the 3-pack. So definitely excited.
Wow, that's some John level negotiation right there, dude.
Oh, dude, it was all patience, baby. Mike, these were $80 on Amazon, the LED strips, but there was a coupon when I purchased them. I'm not sure if it's still there. I believe it is, because quite a few people in the comments and the reviews were saying they got it for the same price, but it was about $60 plus tax after the purchase. Let's get into the news. So Hot Toys dropped the KX Enforcer droid. This is basically the battle damaged K2SO from the Book of Boba Fett. I believe this was from the Night of 1,000 Tears scene, if I'm not mistaken. And I know a lot of people that have been really wanting to add a K2 droid to their collection. Though this isn't technically K2SO, it looks good enough to fit the bill, I think, for most people. You get that blaster that K2 had in most of Rogue One. So at $285, April to September 2023, I do think this is a really great addition to the Hot Toys lineup. It gives those that did not get K2 originally a chance to get it. The deco is a bit different, and I think a lot of people this week have been complaining that this is $285. I think the original was $235, but that doesn't really take into account how different things are now than I think it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago when the K2SO originally went up for order. I mean, just even this week, just gas. Like, my car was twice as much to fill up, this month than it was last month. Fuel prices, shipping prices, everything's gone up, raw material prices. So for Hot Toys to keep this to a $50 increase over, like 5 or 6 years, I don't think that's terribly unreasonable. And I think anyone complaining is just being silly, because at $285, that's way below the market value that K2SO was going for. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not ideal, but like you said, it's not the world we currently live in. I like the release. It's not a straight reissue. I can't wait to hear John's thoughts. It's a little too battle damaged to fit in K2SO, but I guess if you really wanted to, you could futz it in there.
It's like that in scene K2SO when he's all not bloody, but he's all like,
yeah,
beat the shit. Yeah.
It's a cool looking droid, man. That's a really sweet design. So, I think it's a pretty solid release. I like it. I don't think I would ever buy it, but you never know.
I do want to play devil's advocate before John goes, because I know he and I might end up on opposite ends of the spectrum here, but as a new collector, like K2SO is one that I've wanted to add for a while. Obviously, he goes for a lot of money and it's tougher to find. And so I know folks were saying, Hot Toys has to come out and answer Queen Studios on, drop a banger release, drop a Joker. And, this is right exactly what they're going to do. They're going to continue, giving new collectors something to buy. It has something for old collectors. You can kind of army build this. And I think it's like a really great release because it's a figure that's not, easy to get, and it can really add to a lot of different displays. It can go with your Rogue One. It can go with your Book of Boba Fett. And yeah, I love the paint job here. It's different enough from the K2SO that I think it definitely warrants a a release. So yeah, I'm excited to add this. And then again, on the price, $285 seems like a really good deal, to be honest with you. I know $230 was the original release, but that's just not the world we live in anymore. And if you look at how expensive, like for instance, I'm drawing a name, the Eternals figure that just was dropped, recently.
Baby.
There you go. What was he, 270 or 275? So compared to that, this is like significantly better value and just a way better figure overall. So really excited to add this one to the collection.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
I'll be quick. I like it a lot. I don't have the original one, and I love droids, so I'll be the I'll have the hot take here and say I'm not the biggest fan of Rogue One. I like it enough, but
that's a spicy.
I know it's a spicy
shit.
take.
Wow.
I know, dude. I know.
I was with you there for a long time, Sean.
It's fine, but yeah, that's a whole other topic for another show. But I like it a lot. I'm just a huge fan of droids, so I'm picking it up regardless, just because I wanted that silhouette kind of in my collection anyway. So I'm happy that they're bringing it back. Price wise, I mean, that's just what kind of standard is. It's a big figure. He's a big chunky figure. He's part diecast, etc. So $285 is $285. But yeah, you could futz it into your Rogue One shelf if you needed to as well. But yeah, I'm picking it up just for my droid collection. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same price as Bo-Katan, and she doesn't have any diecast, so.
Yeah.
And he's well weighted. I know the first one was diecast joints and so forth, so it was well weighted. But I wouldn't say this is a reissue, as much as my heart wants to say it's a reissue.
Wow.
I think it's battle damaged enough that it's completely different. Like for me personally, I never picked up the first one. I don't think I plan on picking this one up either. Because for me, the first one, when I think of K2SO, it's that first one, nice and clean, that I want the representation on the shelf. It's not this from like maybe a couple of seconds on the screen, a minute or so, whatever it was. But it's a good looking figure. The damage does look cool. The base is cool. It's a good release. I just, like, we saw what Queen Studios put out, and this is Hot Toys' response figure. This is the figure they announced right after that. That's where I'm confused. You think they'd come out with a nice banger, different, not reusing the body, completely innovating to compete and say, hey, you know what? I thought they'd come in and pull a flippin' Will Smith. No, they came in and they're just giving us the same old Hot Toys. So,
but I don't know that Hot Toys was ever going to respond, right? Because they always operate in a bubble. It seems like they don't care about what collectors want or what anyone's saying. They're just going to do whatever the f they want to do.
I'll go with Marco. It's Hot Toys is very much to their own animal. Like, they definitely march to the beat of their own drum. As much as I fucking hate that phrase, 10 companies could be making a Batman, and Hot Toys would still make a Batman. Like,
but you're going to get to a
the
point.
whole world would be against reissues, and they'd still do a reissue. So. I don't know that they necessarily needed to respond. I think whatever their response may be, maybe it be another joke or whatever is going to come when it comes. But it's not like they can show off a Joker out of thin air if they hadn't been working on it. It takes months to get the licensing, the sculpt, and everything like that. So this was probably in the chamber, and they showed it. I don't think that they necessarily were going to drop a banger in response.
I just think that there was so much love for K2SO and that figure, and that skyrocketed in the secondary market. I just feel like this is like we watched Book of Boba. A lot of fans didn't like what happened with Book of Boba. We're already out of the Book of Boba phase. Now we're moving on to Obi-Wan coming out. I just feel like this is backtracking. It's taking advantage of the molds they had. That's what it is.
You're not wrong, John. I guess we're talking about what we thought they might do versus what they really should do. They should have done something a little more creative than this, right?
Exactly. But not to take away from it, I still think it's a well done, well executed figure.
Yeah. I think in regards to Obi-Wan, I think there's probably a lot of stuff that if they showed an Obi-Wan this early, half the figure would be black boxed where they can't show certain things. I fucking cannot wait to see what Hot Toys is going to do for that show. But I just have to side with Marco. Like, I don't like Beskar Kid here says this shows how worried they aren't. I'm not saying they should have zero concern for what's going on with this other company, but I mean, I just think it's business as usual for Hot Toys. Like Hot Toys is gonna Hot Toy, and they're gonna reissue a mold that is gonna save them some money and get them some cash. And I think the bigger concern I think they've only been dropping like one figure a week, but the pre-order list is growing and growing and growing, and it's at some point it might even already be that point. Like it's gonna get to an unsustainable level. And
SB, I'm going to read his comment because he brings up a good point.
Yeah,
but before I
feature it.
Don't forget as well, an Andor show is coming. So if they have the molds,
that's true,
and they're ready to pull the trigger on something like this, I wouldn't be surprised if we
true.
see another one down the line.
Did they not say that he was not going to be in season one? Though?
Correct.
At least
They didn't, but it's Hot Toys, right? Like
you might see KX drones in the show though. Maybe not K2SO specifically, but this could also be a figure that could fit into both television shows.
Great point.
Beam says, while it's true that the reveal was lackluster, I do agree with him. A Cad Bane, Cobb Vanth, or Chrysanthemum, but I feel like a lot of people will be getting this figure to army build, perhaps. But yeah, one of those three would have been cool to get as well.
I've seen the last Hot Toys Wookiee though, but I don't think I want to see another Hot Toys Wookiee with that busted ass lip.
I don't know. I feel like army building this would be kind of silly. I mean, it was just like a 30-second clip, but
I will say though, Dean, in that 30-second clip, the KX droid looked fucking horrifying. I was never really scared of K2SO. Like, he looks adorable, but seeing him in that context of like that fucking Skynet
Terminator.
285 army building, bro. God damn.
People
Wait,
did
you
it
say
with
busted up?
clones that are not.
Who the fuck threw that motherfucking busted ass goddamn Adidas?
So it's been a while.
That was perfect.
It has been a while. It has been a while. I remember John used to have the Adidas right on the mic stand there.
Yeah.
I will say I like the diorama base. The one thing that bothers me just a bit is if you're not planning to use it in a Rogue One display, I feel like it's kind of a figure that doesn't have... Well, I guess you could put it with other stormtroopers like the Jedha Patrol Troop or whatever, but I feel like you need a Mandalorian from this scene to go with it. Maybe you could futz in the what is it, the Night Watch or Death Watch Mando, the generic version into a shelf with this, but I kind of want there to be another thing specifically made to go with this. But that diorama looks great.
I was kind of thinking about futzing it kind of with maybe what's his buckets, the Death Troopers and some of just the other, that elite trooper squad. And I'm blanking on his name. The unboxing we did last night. The
pilot, TIE pilot.
No.
Driver pilot.
Oh,
no.
Gideon.
Gideon, yeah, there you go. Futzing him in with Gideon because he was part of that. So, futzing him in there or something like that with that sort of thing.
Definitely. Now, Hot Toys did tease something on Facebook, which is kind of rare, while preparing for the next character from # the Book of Boba Fett collection that will be coming up shortly. We'd like to show you the highly detailed quarter-scale Boba Fett figure and the diorama base inspired by his palace throne room. Here's the Daimo. He's the new Daimo. Intends to rule your display with respect. Wow. So, we mentioned Black Chrysanthemum. We mentioned Cobb Vanth. Vanth Refrigeration. We also mentioned
Cad Bane.
I think Cad Bane is probably the most likely, personally. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to be the next Book of Boba figure?
I thought they posted this and then they posted K2SO.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I think it was.
I think that's how it was. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But if we are speculating on what else might be coming, I think Cad Bane seems like a fairly straightforward one, right? Like he'd have a cool coat. They could almost reuse some of the pieces of other figures they have.
It's got Mando gauntlets. Fucking. That's it. I mean, Star-Lord rocket boots, I guess.
I don't know what else they would do from that show. I mean, he seems like the only other main character, really. I mean,
a bantha.
A chrysanthemum would be sweet.
A black chrysanthemum would be sweet,
Bantha.
Or they already have fucking Tusken Raiders. Just throw a black robe on them, and there you go.
Oh, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
That's actually probably the most likely.
Chiefs, yeah.
100%. 100%.
That's an easy thing to release.
And then they'll give you a lighter, so you can just light it on fire. And
Yeah, well,
Oh,
because a
man.
lot of people really
Jesus
like
Christ.
the female Tusken Raider.
Yeah.
So just throw some. I don't know what. Didn't she have some kind of like
Yeah.
special necklace or something?
You may even get a reissue of the Heavy Mando.
Dang,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do we think
if
the
anybody
ring?
want to buy Heavy Mando?
Oh God.
I kind of want one.
Message me, Sean.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
It's a really nice figure.
Wow.
Can we-
Marco's unstoppable.
Can we completely rule out the Rancor? Right, that's probably way too big for a hot
For
toy,
sure.
Oh my
right?
god. Yeah. No.
Unless they
But-
go 1/12.
They're trying to get more into deluxe sets, though, right? So like, I could see them trying to do something different to like buy a different part of the market, but
Dude,
it
Hot
seems
Toys
like a
gonna
little
make their
crazy.
second Latin figure with Danny Trejo.
That would be sick.
Jeez.
Dude, we need some Latin Hot Toys. Sideshow threw their hat in the ring. Also, they're making a Yoda 6-scale figure. It's their next piece in the Clone Wars animated series line. I'm still very interested to see how this line's going to turn out. Obviously, we've seen the prototypes. We have not seen pretty much anything since they were on display at that sort of convention at home type deal that they had. For Clone Wars figures, though, I think almost everyone here, maybe not John, is a fan of the show. What other characters would you want to see? I'd like to see an animated Ahsoka season 1. I think that would be really cool. The Snips look. Obviously, you could do the whole line of clone commanders in the animated style. Mace Windu in the clone style would be fucking awesome because he had a very distinct look. Count Dooku. I would say Grievous, but I don't want Sideshow to make another Grievous. For
Tarkin.
God's sake.
For real.
Yeah, Tarkin was a very small part of it. Yeah.
He was more in the Bad Batch than
Yeah, in the Bad Batch. Yeah.
Clone Wars.
The line
yeah.
has so much potential, though. What a great show! Even a Cad Bane, which they absolutely nailed their first Cad Bane, the Cad Bane and All
Yeah.
Disguise. The portrait on that was fantastic. So, would love to see them do an animated style Cad Bane.
Yeah, Clone Wars has so many characters you could do.
Pumps.
Bosk, a young Boba Fett.
Savage Press.
Yeah, Savage.
Oh, dude, fuck yes! Their original Savage was actually really good too.
What's his name from Rogue One? Run away.
Oh,
Save the dream. Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, Saw
there you go.
Gerrera.
There you
Dude, Clone Wars has a ton of characters. I mean, and Sideshow,
dude,
you know,
Asajj too.
they try their best. And, 10 years ago, they were making all kinds of figures from Star Wars. Aliens, like alien after alien. I mean, that line was pretty extensive. So
Yeah.
they could corner that market because people love Clone Wars. So honestly,
Erwin says
they could
Pong
make-
Krell.
yeah. Oh, I fucking hate General Krell.
Fuck
But
that guy.
you could really make anything from the show, and I think people would buy it. Honestly.
Jabba's cousin.
Yeah. Dude, they gotta make a 5-pack of D Squad.
Dude,
Fuck around and find out.
The Snips Ahsoka with the fucking little larva fucking.
Oh, baby
hut.
Jabba.
Dude, that would be a sweet figure.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Dude,
It's gonna
Clone
come
Wars is
down
such a
to the-
banger show.
it really
This
is.
this line would have a lot of potential, but it'll come down to how they reinvent the bodies, I think.
Yeah.
Completely
You're not
agree.
wrong.
They're
Yeah, they'd
so
have to start
stylized.
from the ground up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this whole line, I think it goes without saying, but I think the success or failure is going to be based on the quality of the body of
Yeah.
the Anakin and Obi-Wan. Like, just full stop. If they're not good, there's no point to
They got
invest in this
fucking
line.
single joints.
If they were smart, they would have pumped a whole bunch of money into the development of those bodies because this line, people will go crazy for this line.
It has legs.
Yep.
It has legs if they can nail this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
So we'll see.
yeah, definitely. Now, Queen Studios, I know we talked about how communicative, how much communication they had with the fans. It almost felt like a fucking blitzkrieg this week. It was like every fucking day there was a new fucking poll. I'm going to read the polls. I'm just going to read all of them. We can talk about it. The 80s movie poll, Terminator T2 was first place, followed by Batman/Batmobile 1989, then Terminator T800. 90s poll, Spider-Man Tobey Maguire / Andrew Garfield, Batman 1992, and Catwoman 1992. Pretty sure Andrew Garfield was not in the 90s, but okay.
Was Toby even in the 90s? That was like 2000s, wasn't it?
Well, funny enough, the 2000 to 2010 poll, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Lord of the Rings, all main characters, and then in third place, Spider-Man, Tobey, and Andrew. 2010 to 2020's Joaquin Joker Phoenix,
Oh god.
which again, I don't think he was in the 2010 to 2020 timeframe. BVS Batman, Logan Wolverine, video games Batman, Arkham, Kratos, God of War, Metal Gear, and my absolute favorite, You Want It, We'll Make It mobile games. Number one vote, please don't. So it did feel a bit overwhelming seeing all the polls, because again, I think it's great that they're doing these polls. I think what's not great is the fact that just because these win, they're not guaranteed to be able to acquire the license and make them. But I think they're doing it both really right and really wrong, because people can just add whatever the fuck they want. So you're not really getting a true, if you gave people 50 choices and the company selected those choices, I think it would be better, because you got split votes like this where Spider-Man has won the first place and the third place, or you got kind of troll votes like this where Please Don't wins. I think even some of our fellow YouTubers like the handsome Will Foxification got like 30 or 40 votes. So
I would buy a Will Foxification figure.
Yeah, man, put me down Dopo, bro.
If it had the Shore and the flute music sound chip, I would buy the fuck out of that.
And the tank top.
Dude, they should do a 2-pack.
Yeah, congrats to Will, by the way. My man is not single or mingling right now. What a guy.
Dude, a 2-pack of me
but
and you,
do any of these... Dude, hell yeah, that'd be a deluxe, baby.
You know what doesn't make
That
sense
wasn't
here?
a joke. I don't know why you laugh, but... What's that?
What doesn't make sense is they came out before these polls, because people were mentioning these, and they said Terminators potentially, but not in this year, or this and that. And then the polls come out, and then people vote for the same figure, the same product that they just said that they're not going to do this year or the year after. Second thing, everybody complains that we just keep getting the same stuff in the hobby, that Hot Toys is repeating Terminators and doing this and doing that, and Arkham Batmans, and then the vote comes and it's the same stuff here. I don't get it.
Dude, shout out Carlito, new YouTube channel member. Way to
Welcome.
Oh, hey, Carlito. Sorry, I got
What a
passionate there
sweet
for a
angel.
second.
John, exactly that though, right? Like I think it's the messaging, because the "you want it, we'll make it" like is a little bit scary, right?
that's
Like
crazy.
how about like say like if we could acquire the license, what would you like to see us make?
Yeah.
But it's like they're a little too definitive with the messaging, and that's like scary to kind of get the expectations up. It's so I'm of two minds of this. So there's that part that's scary, but it is also good for them to have the data of what we want to see, right? So they can go to the license holders and say, hey, this is what people want. But yeah, I'm just really, really afraid of getting folks expectations up, and then if they don't produce these in the next 5 years, and where's the Mark 46? Where's it's going to be the same thing over and over. It's like they never promised it, but this is kind of that.
Dude, it's like when I used to DJ. People spend all day in the car listening to Drake and Lil Wayne. They go home, get ready for the club, listening to Drake and Lil Wayne. And then they get to the club and all they want to hear is Drake and Lil Wayne. And then they want you to play something new. But when you do, they're like, can you just play Drake and Lil Wayne? It's like, it's the same shit, right? It's like, we want something new. But then when you ask them what they want, it's the same shit. So you hit the nail on the head, Marco. It's real frustrating to see.
And Marco, where you're right is it's important for the companies to do this, because then you won't have, essentially the company is getting feedback directly from the collectors, as opposed to the company just coming, okay, well, we're going to just do a whack load of figures that nobody wants. So it's good to kind of get that information so they know what to go after.
Absolutely.
You also make a good point, because they could come up, like the thing with Neo. That's the wrong Neo. But also, like, who really wants a Neo? Like, in that lineup, not that nobody wants a Neo, but in that initial lineup they showed, he was kind of like an outlier. Like, who the fuck wants this thing? So you're
Real
not wrong
quick.
in making shit no one wants. They want to see what people want so they can sell it.
Yeah, real quick. Carlito, big shout out there again. Erwin says we'll unlock the John emoji soon. So just want to show you guys, this is the emoji tab here for the membership. We need 4 more members to unlock the John emoji. I think we lost a member or 2.
It's just John's head. It says Gabagool.
Is it actually?
No, but it should be.
You guys keep this discussion going on these polls. I'm going to restart my computer and I'll be right back.
Sean, did you?
Yeah. So a couple things. One, yeah, when I looked at these, I was like very surprised to see it's like 99% shit that Hot Toys has either made or is making or has already put out. It's like, yeah, you would expect like, oh, we want this figure or this line or whatever that we've never seen before. Because yeah, I mean, Queen, you know, we're all hoping that Queen will make a better version of that figure for sure. I mean, you know, based on the prototypes that we've seen and stuff like that, I think it would be a better version. But like, why do you want a better version of the same thing when you could just get some, or you could just have them make something else that you don't have? So
Do you think that speaks to how many new collectors there are in this hobby?
maybe that could definitely speak to that.
Could it also be what's hot on the brain? Spider-Man
Yeah.
No Way Home just came out, and everyone's like, "I want a fucking Toby and an Andrew." It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
Spider-Man and Batman, everyone's all in right now.
yeah. And well, then that's the other thing too, that it definitely gives you kind of an insight. I mean, as you know, smaller scale because Hot Toys versus Queen, but you know, people always like, oh, why are they always making Star Wars? Why are they always making Marvel? This, that, and the other thing. Why not do this other thing and this other thing? It's like, well, yeah, money, exactly. You see what the people want and they're gonna buy, and then whatever. And so this is a small look at that and kind of why that is happening. You know what I mean? So definitely money talks more than anything. So if they're going to sell 10,000 Iron Man figures or, you know, 1,000 Alita figures or whatever, they're going to just make more Iron Mans because that's what people want to buy.
In Asia, they sold like 6,000 plus of those Joker Deluxe. And this is their first figure. Nobody's even had it in hand yet. So it just goes to show you their confidence.
I have been waiting for somebody to make Fifth Element figures.
Hell yeah, Beskar Kid. Hell yeah.
Dude,
so this is
only
good.
the
So,
Chris Tucker
fucking
character.
metal Beskar Kid.
so let's go around. What would you guys, if you could have a figure, it doesn't matter. Queen Studios says, Dean, Sean, Marco, we're making a figure for you based on what you want. What would you guys ask for?
Dude, Fifth Element. That
Fifth Element?
is
Okay.
like in my top 5 movies ever, not including Star Wars. Like,
Okay.
easy.
How about yourself, Marco?
Yeah, so I love the video game poll that they put up because obviously Sideshow has made like a Kratos, or no, sorry, I think it was Mondo that made it, but it just looks subpar, right? And so I think like video games are an untapped market. Like Sean has the lightsaber from Jedi Fallen Order. Why hasn't Hot Toys made a figure from that? So I feel like if they were to go down that route, it's like tapping into a whole different market.
Second sister, Dopo, dude.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Dude,
That's such
same,
a
bro.
great character.
How about you, Sean?
Same.
For me, I think it would be between a legitimate comic book line where it's the, you know, everything from X-Men, Batman, you know, Avengers, whoever, but like a legitimate well done comic book line, or kind of other left field but animated stuff like Bob's Burgers, Simpsons, Futurama, Rick and Morty, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Dude, Bob's
that, you know,
Burgers. is
You got
fucking
Funkos
awesome.
for those, bro.
yeah,
They,
I want legitimate like stuff. So.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
sick.
feel like sometimes 2D characters don't translate well into 3-dimensional figures.
Oh, they might not for sure.
Like because there's a Futurama figure line, and they look goofy. And then same thing with like the Rick and Morty. They just, I don't know, it just seems odd to me.
I'd go with a Mrs. Doubtfire.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a fucking left. I thought you were gonna say something like Richie Rich.
No, I'm like 89 Batman fan, and I love the Jack Nicholson Joker, but I'd go with a Mrs. Doubtfire in the full outfit.
Wow.
How about yourself, Zach? The question was,
Yeah.
if you can have anything made, if they came up to you and said, what would you like made?
Oh, that's a good question. And I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the question. Was
From
it
Queen
in
Studios.
Any, yeah, in Queen Studios in any
6 scale.
era?
Anything.
Oh, that's a great question.
Jurassic Park line.
Jurassic Park line
Yeah.
all the way.
No,
I was thinking it too.
because I think Chronicle did a good attempt, and I didn't. Even then, I was like, I don't know that I really need like a 40-inch long Raptor in my collection. I think I have to go with the comic line. I think that'd be really cool, like a you know, because I think Sideshow, a lot of their comic figures, they're not really like actual. Like their Batman is kind of like their own version of Batman.
They're
It's not like,
inspired by the comics, but they're their own
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I think it would be cool to get like, you know, a line of Batman figures like, hey, this is the Golden Age Batman, the first appearance. This is Silver Age, Bronze Age, Modern Age comic Batman. I think that'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be cool.
Because it's such an untapped market, even statues wise. I think that would be really cool. I think, you know, obviously they're digging into Lord of the Rings, which is great.
Jeez, Zach,
Yeah,
we
I
said
would have
one.
to say. Oh, fuck me then. Yeah, I would say comics inspired line.
Dude,
We
I
also
agree.
got a new Patreon right now. I think it was
Dude.
Carlito.
Oh, awesome.
You
Welcome,
know what
brother.
else I
Thank
would
you.
love to
Welcome.
see? Two 2-packs. One from Shaun of the Dead, Sean and Ed. And then also Hot Fuzz, Nicholas Angel, and Danny Butterman. I would buy the fuck out of those 4 figures. Because those movies are literally perfect.
I love
no
them
one
too.
can convince me otherwise. Yeah, I would absolutely adore those. Dude,
Daniel.
that last scene in Hot Fuzz where they go in with shotguns in their backpack
Yeah.
and all the guns, dude. Hell yeah.
Daniel in
And
the
it-
chat says Logan. Boy Mafia says Scarface.
Oh,
Sam
And I'll-
says
and I'll-
Lou Ferrigno.
And I'll agree with Daryl and TMT all day. Yeah, TMNT as well. I would love some Mirage or comic book inspired TMNT stuff.
Reservoir
Now,
Dogs?
ooh, that'd
Dude,
be cool.
Reservoir Dogs is fucking awesome, dude.
Why do I gotta be Mr. Pink?
Homer Simpson.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of third-party Logans out there, but no one's done like an actual Logan.
Third party only. Yeah, I have
That is
some of the.
correct.
I have
Because
some
that's a
of the
great
11
movie,
ones.
and he's got a lot of distinct looks in
Such
that
a great
film.
movie.
Yeah.
Sam has
that's a-
great
that's a good
taste in
pick.
music. Led Zeppelin?
Oh, dude, like I said, I mean, last
Willy
time we talked
Wonka.
about artists.
Great
Dude,
taste.
I think music figures are so. That's an untapped market. Having your favorite artists on the wall, dude. I have
like
Daft
80s
Punk with the
Metallica?
vinyl and everything. That's such a sweet display.
Yeah, having another Daft Punk because Medicom made the I think the 3 or 4 sets, but you know those questionable bodies and also slightly less scale. I think a Queen Studios Daft Punk. Holy shit, bro!
Dude, I would
be fucking
even if they were
incredible.
both a grand, I'd get them both.
Oh,
That's how
100%.
much I love Daft Punk.
And if you could have different if you could have different outfits, then you got to get 4 or 6. You can have all of the
I would
outfits, all
definitely
the
pick
looks.
something kind of. Their Human After All look is probably my favorite with the leather, but
Yep,
I do
mine
really
too.
enjoy Random Access Memories with that sequence.
That white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tron is the white one.
And as
Which one
long
is
as
Random
we're
Access Memories? Oh, the black sequence. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even their '90s Discovery look with all the LEDs and the
Yes.
gold coat.
That
Dude,
would
can
be
you imagine if they
clean.
actually got the LEDs working on the helmets, dude?
Yeah.
That'd be
I,
innovative.
Medicom had them working.
I was gonna
Medicom
say, I
had
think
working,
Medicom had them working.
Yeah.
But
Jesus
back
Christ.
then, oh my god,
Dick fit.
Did you see the thumbnail though?
Yeah, it's fucking Jada Smith.
wow, the internet has no chill. $2 from Lane Kramer. Bob Dylan is going to join the YouTube stream brigade. What?
Wow. I think he means the channel members, perhaps.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow.
Yeah, actually, big shout out to Bob Dylan. Gave us such a wonderful shout out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
Yeah.
other day, really
What a
nice.
beautiful
Awesome guy. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Made me brought a single tear to my eye. Yeah, I think Queen is it's exciting, you know, and even John, you posted that meme from Manny, but people in the chat were saying like you got a lot of flack for that in the comments. They were like tearing you apart.
Some
bro.
people, who gives a shit? I said, oh whatever, I'm over it. I just put it's
Yeah.
I know I should have put Manny, but I put not my.
Oh
photo.
no, I'm not giving you
No,
shit about
no,
that.
I know
I'm
you're
talking
not,
about
but,
the comments.
No, of course.
They were saying
Yeah,
like
that's
they
'cause
released
people-
one prototype.
Oh,
or-
people are like children, man. It's
I mean,
so-
I agree with Iman, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he mentioned, you know, what about the Molecule 8 stuff? And that to me, I'm still a little worried. I know Queen is much more reputable than
Yes.
Molecule ever was, but it's kind of always in the back of my head, like when you see someone come into the market like that, anytime now, for me, I'll always it could be, you know, the best company in the world coming in. I will always think to that, of how many of the people that I am friends with got burned from that. I'll always think about that. Hot Toys, I mentioned they released one figure this week. It was the Clone Wars Maul, and I will 1000% die on the hill that I'm glad that they did a non-seamless body. I think it's, you know, for a character like this, one that you want to have in a lot of motion and a lot of poses, I think that's the way to go. I think the sculpting on the robotic legs is fantastic. I think the outfit looks really good. I think the paint looks excellent. I think, you know, I think this is a slam dunk. I'm not a huge fan of this character at all, to be honest, or even this particular part of the story arc, but I think it's probably maybe my favorite look yet.
If a gun to my head, I had to buy Darth Maul, this would probably be it. That's the nicest thing I'm going to say about it. I fucking hate Darth Maul.
Wow, man, you keep taking L's, Dean.
I'm not a fan of this either. Something between. I agree that with the seamless body, but because I think the tattoos hide it enough, so it's fine. They could get away with that.
Yeah.
But there's something for the neck to the chest that's rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like the head size is maybe off. There's something that's not
There's
quite
something.
right.
Yeah, I think what did he say? Lane said, yeah, that the neck is way too long. It definitely looks way too long in these pictures. I think you could probably pose away from it if you tilt the head down or whatever, but I think it looks cool. I'm getting this one for sure to pose with Ahsoka. But
Are you gonna cut it in half?
Jesus Christ, this is after he's been glued back together.
I said, are you gonna cut it in half?
Yes, I'm gonna saw it in half on my sawzall.
Okay, awesome.
But yeah, no, I think it looks good. I think the head sculpt came out good. I wish it was the younger head sculpt, but I guess I understand why they made him a little bit older. So I might just pop one of the DX16's head sculpts on there if it's a magnetic connection too. I don't know if it is or not, but yeah, overall I like it. I'm a fan of Maul, so I like it.
To me, this is the goofiest looking Maul to date. I think it still looks pretty sweet. Like, in the clean lines, I do appreciate. But if you compare it to like the DX16 and 17 or the solo Maul, I think this one is the inferior one in my opinion, because it doesn't have the detail in the legs from that solo Maul. And yeah, just for whatever reason, the proportions seem off to me. But it is cool that you can kind of take his shirt off and you can expose the tattoos. So that is pretty sweet. It's definitely one that I'm probably considering trying to pick up a solo Maul from folks that are maybe offloading them to get this one. But I do appreciate a lot about it. It just looks a bit more animated than maybe my preference. And maybe that's what's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. But yeah, it's going to be a pass for me, I think.
No, it's the animated Maul, right?
We gotta find something to rub you the right way, Mark.
That's right. No, I get that it is the animated style, right? But like they're trying to find a middle ground between that realism and the animated. So for whatever reason, yeah, it just doesn't look too sweet to me. Wow.
All right, let's move on.
That was a definitive take, I guess.
Yeah, John, it's that time of the show where we thank the people that keep our doors open. Some of the people, at least.
1/6 Corner. All right. Their mission is to provide the best figures and collectibles to their customers. They offer great prices, great packaging, fast shipping, best in the business customer service. Guys, right now you're watching the show, Collecting Weekly listeners. Get 10% off in-stock figures while our show is live using code capital CW10. Choose your figures, pay safely with PayPal, and you leave the rest to them.
Our topic of the week was from John, the Everyday Collector. It was on figure maintenance / upkeep. I have a few things that I want to show you guys because, we deal with expensive hobbies, expensive collectibles, and, I'm certainly not against spending good money for, good product to maintain those collectibles, but you could save some money on the figure upkeep items. That's like every dollar you save, you can put towards buying other cool shit. So, a few years back, I thought it was such a banger video. It got like no views, and it upsets me because I've seen people remake the same video and got a ton of views. But it's basically a stocking stuffer idea. Like if you are friends with a collector or collectors and you want to get them something, less than $10 that can improve their collecting. So on the left here, I have these are all from the Dollar Tree for the most part, so very cheap. But the original super glue gel, if you're a 1/6 scale collector, you will be very familiar with making small repairs on your figures or statues as you own them. I've made probably just from the move itself, like 2 or 3 small repairs on things that got a little messed up in the move. But case in point, not from the move, but about 6 or 8 months ago, Victoria knocked one of the teeth out of my Rex's mouth on accident, allegedly.
Still haven't forgiven her yet, huh?
No,
she's worse than Will
on
Smith.
my deathbed. Yeah, right. was able to use a drop of this super glue gel and touched it right up. So that's something very important to get. Also, lint rollers. You can get them at the dollar store. They work as good as the ones that are $4 or $5 at Walmart. Even craft paint at Walmart, like it's only like 30 cents, but getting black and brown craft paint just to touch up. If you get a portrait that gets a little bit of a paint rub on black or brown haired figures, you can touch that up pretty easily. Dean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you actually just picked up some brushes a while ago for dusting, but you can get some pretty decent brushes at the dollar store. I've been using the same dollar store brush for like 5 years.
Wow, I paid way more than that.
You know, put it
for my brush set, but I went to H-E-B and bought like a makeup brush set. So I think it came with the same number, like 4 or 5 different size brushes, and fucking godsend, bro. Like,
yeah,
you have to have these. Or at least a set.
Yeah, so, you know, a makeup brush set, and even the dollar store sells like painting brushes, like, you know, the 3-inch brushes. At least my dollar store does. And if you have a large statue like that Rex, I actually use like an actual large brush and just gently brush it on there. After I used canned air, which unfortunately I don't think the dollar store sells this, but you can get them for like, you know, $3 or $4 a can. And I usually use this for like the bigger figures. So canned air, very important. Keep your figures dust free. And then these are 2 products that I've also used in the past. So the right is clear nail polish. If you have joints that are a little bit loose and the gap is quite significant, put some clear, quick drying clear nail polish on there. Let it sit for a few hours and then marry the 2 ends together. Typically that gets rid of really loose ankles. If they're just a little loose, you used to be able to get Future floor polish, but they changed the formula and it's a bit different. I recommend Rejuvenate. It's basically the same thing. It comes in satin and matte. I recommend the matte version. But this works really good. It's just like a liquid that you put on joints. And I do find though that the top coat nail polish does work significantly better. The Rejuvenate's about $15 a bottle. The clear nail polish is about $1. And then for leather, we had Eric in the chat ask today what people use for leather. There's the ever popular 303. I've not used 303 in a very long time. I actually use Meguiar's Gold Class Rich Leather. I've had the same bottle for like 2 years. I use it on my couch. I use it on my figures. It's kept my Metacom Rocketeer very supple. And
I don't like how you said that.
It works.
You say it a little,
just spray it on? Or?
Do you say it a little quieter, but a little bit more closer to the mic?
And less Italian?
Supple. The gabagool. Yeah, so you can spray it on the whatever, but because the Rocketeer is a mix of fabric and the pleather, what I actually do is just spray it onto a paper towel and then rub that in. You can also, it comes in a wipe also. Yeah, Fern says the trusty CW joint juice. I haven't made it, so I don't want to plug it because every time we mention it, I usually get 1 or 2 messages like, yo, you got any left? And that shit was limited edition, not being reissued.
Straight from Zach's loins.
Straight from the loins. Each bottle takes me about a day and a half to make. Depending on how hydrated I am, could be 2 bottles a day. But that's what I recommend for figure maintenance. And I'm curious if any of you guys have any tips or tricks or any thoughts on the things that I've said. I see Dean preparing some paper there. Do you take notes?
No, these are my brushes and my canned air I keep in my desk. Like, you nailed it. Like, yeah, I have some little paints that I keep here too. Like, you can't ever be too prepared. So that was a solid list of shit that I wholeheartedly agree. Although, to be fair, guys, I learned all this shit from Zach. So,
jeez, learn from the
best. Have you ever used canned air and held it enough where it freezes what you're spraying? Okay, so if you're doing that with a statue, please be careful.
The T1000, baby.
I personally keep them in the box to protect them, but when they are out, I'll use the brushes. These good quality brushes. There's nothing like them. And because you want to make sure they're good quality, because you get a hard brush, the wrong brush, it could scratch the paint off the 6 scale figure is one thing.
Yeah.
But on a statue.
Yeah, that's why you get makeup brushes and not paint brushes. Because makeup brushes are real2 and gentle. You know, they're for your face. So.
Well, to that point, there are some brushes that are pretty firm, but if you get the natural hair versions, like the ones that John was recommending me for the chalk paint, like those are pretty
soft.
pretty soft. So I certainly wouldn't go in there with like a fucking nylon polyester brush. Like,
No.
you fuck your shit all the way up.
And the number one thing you need to have on you at all times is super glue. It doesn't even matter.
Yes.
You need super glue, because when that accident happens, you don't have super glue, and the dollar store's closed, you go into panic mode. It becomes like a mental anxiety situation. So
Do you guys?
I just
use-
message Zach and be like, "Hey, can I come over tomorrow?" And
I want to
Definitely the
I want
gel
to
kind,
preface. Yeah, that's exactly. Don't
Yeah.
get liquid. You will fuck your shit all the way up.
100%.
And pro tip with the glue, with the gel, you get a paper plate, right? Not styrofoam. You get a paper plate. You put the tiniest drop of glue on the paper plate, and you close the bottle right away. Then you wash your hands, because inevitably you're gonna get a tiny drop of fucking super glue on your finger. You're not gonna know, and you're gonna put your fucking hand right on the figure.
Yep.
Wash your hands. The water will deactivate the glue. Then you get a fucking toothpick or like a floss pick, and you dip the pick in the paper plate with the glue, and then you put that on your finger. Never, for the love of God, do not fucking get the bottle and squeeze it on your finger. You will fucking ruin your day. Gorilla Glue gel is a great one. It comes in a green top. They also make one in a yellow top, which has a little brush inside. That works pretty well too. But I would never use the blue top one, because that's the liquid version, and it just runs, and it's incredibly difficult to deal with.
For me, I try to do. I also have the makeup brushes, the canned air, kind of all that standard stuff. I have the OG joint juice, so I have that as well for that sort of stuff. Yeah. But the super glue, all that stuff. But for me, one of my main tips is preparation is worth. What is it? An ounce of preparation is worth a pound of rework. So try and dust-proof your cases if you can. If you're using cases, dust-proof them as much as possible. Try and prevent the dust from getting in there, so you have to clean less, etc. Less opportunity for damage when you're doing it. But that's my biggest thing. I like to clean as little as possible, because I got 2 kids running around the house, and I gotta clean them after them more so than I gotta dust all my collectibles. So I try to keep them as sealed off as possible. So I know that's not possible for everybody, but also to that, an air purifier helps.
Yes, I got one at Goodwill.
Nice, very nice.
Like $6, and it's like a $300 air purifier. It's amazing.
Shit, damn, you're cooking. But yeah, definitely air purifier helps. With the humidity in the collection room, helps with all that stuff. But it also will help dust particles and cleaning everything out, because dust is just a nightmare, especially with statues and stuff like that. So that's my biggest tip is just try and be as preemptive as possible, preventative as possible, and then you'll have to clean less and won't have to worry about as much. But yeah, all the tools that Zach recommended and Dean has, etc. 100%. Yeah, makeup brushes all the way. Get in all the nooks and crannies, everything like that. The other thing I'll say too is figures with batteries. Don't leave them in there for a long time. You can in certain situations, but they will leak over time, if nothing else. So there are, Hindra Woo and stuff like that. He does permanent stuff where you can plug it in with an AC adapter if you want to leave your Iron Man figures on all the time. Way better option than batteries. So just be sure to remove those. So yeah.
And can I just say a tip, because this happened to me?
Yeah, John, go ahead.
No, go first with Sam.
No, you're
going to
good,
read
John.
Sam's? Okay. I just want to say, if you're taking the batteries out of Hot Toys, because I did that, just use the right screw, because you strip that little screw, you're done. I did it with my War Machine, the one on the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's what I say. Invest in a good set of those jewelers. They're called jewelers screwdrivers or whatever. They sell them at Home Depot. They sell them wherever. Spend $20, get a nice set of them. Infinitely better than the ones that Hot Toys give you, and they'll get them out every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sam says, what glass cleaner does everyone use on their displays? There's one. It's just called glass cleaner. It's like a blue can, and you spray it on there. That's a streak. Yeah, blue and white. It's a streak-free product. I come from a background of fish tanks, and one of the best things you can use to clean glass is RODI water. you just if it specifically has to be RODI water, I wouldn't go putting like sink water on your glass cases because we get hard water stains. But RODI water, you just spray it on with a spray bottle, wipe it off. It works pretty good. One thing I think it's also important for figure maintenance and upkeep is keeping them out of the sun. So in this room, I have 2 blackout curtains. They're, about $20 from Walmart. You can get them Target, wherever, but they add a little bit of soundproofing to the room, and they keep the room cool. They block out a lot of heat, and they block out like 99% of the light. So I think it's really important that if you have a collection room as awesome as having natural light in your collection room is, the last thing you want, dust you can fix, paint chips you can fix, there's a number of things you can fix, but if you get sun damage on a graded comic book, or sun damage on a statue or a Hot Toys figure, it's going to be kind of a bitch, to be honest. So you really can't get that out. Like if it's a plastic thing, like a computer part, you can. It's called the retro brighting, but anything painted, it's pretty much a no-go. You pretty much kind of ruined it. So also figure upkeep wise, definitely making sure anything with dye doesn't touch the figures. So USB, I think we've talked about this a few times with you, but like for Luke, for example, don't let the I'm losing the hood touch the sculpt, because you're going to get that dye inevitably transferred onto the figure, and it's a huge pain in the butt. And look at that, Mojo says he just got his Pose War sticker.
Sweet, buddy. Congrats.
Hopefully he got the other sticker that we sent, not just the Pose Wars one. But that's very good. So best car, he's like, fuck Dylan. Best car kid says UV light equals no. Absolutely.
What if Mojo was the one that ordered just the Pose War sticker from Sticker Mule? Or
no, that was the Jumbo. Someone ordered just the Jumbo.
Oh, was it just the Jumbo?
Tough
I thought
cookie.
it was the Pose Wars.
Speaking of Justine, look at this amazing shirt right here on.
Oh my god.
Is it?
I love it.
Ozol agree.
Ozol and the Jets, baby.
What does that mean? The Jets.
He didn't watch last episode. How dare you?
We'll talk about it later. So Dune, let's move on. I think that was a great discussion. Paul says, in terms of sunlight, is it okay that the room is bright but no direct sunlight? I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't risk it personally, because I know how bad sun damage could be. He says he has UV coated windows. So let me tell you this. The first time in a Facebook group, people thought I was a fucking madman, Dean. I specifically said this, like, the windows in my parents' house, they're tinted windows, and they block 100% of the UV coming in, right? Okay. People thought I was like a fucking imbecile. They're like, that's impossible. I'm like, no, like that's literally what they're designed to do. And ever since then, I've just always, like, maybe there's just something I don't know about UV blocking windows, because I'm thinking, like, if you work in an office by the window all day, you're not going to get like sunburn because your windows are blocking. I don't know. It was a huge thing. It was
Did
like
those
one of the
people
most
stop thinking
frustrating-
you're an imbecile, or is that just the wrong line?
The lion does not concern itself with the opinion of the sheep, my friend. I don't know what those people
yes,
think
the
anymore.
shepherd, I forgot.
I'm fucking famous now. Dune swept the Academy Awards. It reminded me of when Mad Max won like 18 fucking awards. They won the award for Best Original Score by Hans Zimmer, Best Visual Effects, Best Cinematography, Best Production Design, Best Film Editing, Best Sound. They were also nominated for Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best Costume Design, and Best Makeup. So they did quite well for themselves there. I know, Dean, I think you've seen it. I believe Usby and Marco have as well. I don't think John has seen it, but
it's on HBO Max.
Wow.
We don't have
It's a
any.
good movie. It's a good movie, and I appreciate that. Or rather, what I didn't appreciate, I believe I didn't watch the Academy Awards, to say for one moment, which we'll touch on shortly, but I think a lot of these awards were given off screen, like in a pre-show.
It was weird. It was weird how they did it. Like, by the time they announced the winner, they were like, by the time we saw what films were
literally
nominated,
says right here.
the winners. What do you say?
Yeah.
The winners were
Yeah,
already
you're
on
right.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the Academy Awards is the Oscars? I thought there were two different things.
The
No,
Academy,
same.
the Academy Award, the Academy is the voting body.
Yeah.
The Oscars is the name of the award and the show. It was a guy named Oscar who invented it. Just kidding. I don't know. But yeah, so it's the Academy is who votes on it, and the Oscars is the award. But it's the Academy Awards or the Oscars is the proper way to.
So I was right.
Well, you were the same, but different.
Same. Okay,
but different. Anyways, anyone have any thoughts on this?
From what I saw, I enjoyed the movie. I did fall asleep. I don't blame the movie. I think I was just real tired. I gotta rewatch it, but it's such a long movie that
it's
I'm
paced
like,
pretty oddly, Dean. I don't blame you for that.
Yeah. So I can't say I'm surprised. Fucking nearly sweeping every fucking award. So good for the movie.
You know, after seeing it, I thought I enjoyed it. It was more of an experience than it was like a movie to me, right? Because it's obviously setting up a lot, and so we'll see the kind of finished product at the end of, you know, the next few films. But it's just incredibly well done. It's like incredibly competently made. So I think it deserves a lot of these awards.
Yeah, I fell asleep during this as well, so I need to watch it.
Motherfucker.
Visually, it looks great, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I said, 2 kids, bro. I was tired when I started to watch it, but I'll watch it. I think it's back on HBO Max, so I'll sit down and watch it. So, yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, and everybody loves it that I know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like this. To me, with COVID and everything, I feel like Hollywood hasn't been going super big on movies. And to me, obviously, like with the Batman, that's an exception, but it really felt like they went all in on this film, and I'm glad that it's getting the acclaim that it deserves. I don't know that it was the best picture of the year.
Did it win best picture of the year?
No, it didn't. I'm saying, like, I agree that it shouldn't have won that.
Yeah.
I think it's a crime that it did not win best costume design because the costumes were absolutely bonkers in this movie.
Agreed.
No, but that one costume design, Cruella, I called it when I was sitting on the couch. I called it because those costumes look pretty good.
Yeah, they look pretty fucking good. Now this here, the moment of the night, Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock, defending his lady. Honestly, I wanted to save it for After Dark, but I was like, you know what, we're here, let's chat about it. And I don't know how to feel about it because there's been times where I wanted to smack the shit out of somebody, and he did it, and I think that's great. I think the thing that I do have a problem with was that he was laughing at the joke, pretty like into it, laughing at the joke moments before, and then just fucking went Terminator T-800 on Chris Rock. I got to give mad props to Chris Rock, though. The consummate professional, chin like iron, took the slap and then kept going with the bit. I think, Dean, there's been times on CW where everyone's cracking up, and I got to kind of like, you know, there's been times like, dude, you're like the consummate professional. But to me, this was like another level, like, you know, to play it off, to keep going with the jokes. And, you know, I got to tip my hat to Chris Rock. I think that was an incredible ability to stay focused. And Sam says, fuck Will Smith for slapping a comedian for being a comedian.
Yeah.
In a way, I agree, but in a way, I think there's also things that probably are off limits.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not he knew what she was dealing with. Well,
you're allowed to be
I get what
offended. You're not allowed to put your hands on someone. You're just
exactly.
not.
Yeah.
Big facts.
I think it's a fucking absolute. I think it's bananas that he was allowed to stay there and accept an award and then give a speech. Can you imagine?
And play victim.
Just imagine if Will Smith was, I don't know, Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. You think he'd be there? They would have fucking arrested him and had him in jail.
It'd be the passion of the Gibson.
Bro.
Wow.
It was fucking outrageous that Will Smith got to sit there and stay there.
100%.
I mean, say what you want about winning his Oscar. A lot of people think it should be taken away. I don't think they're going to do that. But forever will this movie and this moment be tarnished by this moment. all those people
And-
that worked hard on that movie. It's
Well, not only
all
that, the
overshadowed.
whole award winners.
Yeah, exactly.
Every award winner of that
Dude,
night. I mean, there was some beautiful moments.
Yeah, the Williams family now, that's all taken away from them. This moment of winning, it was such a huge thing for that movie, and it's rendered meaningless now because of this. It's fucking insane.
I 100% agree, Dean. I think the fact that he stayed there, I think the fact that, I mean, he wasn't removed immediately. I mean, it's kind of like no one ever thinks that anything that could happen, that I'm like, is there even a contingency plan for like anything like this happening? It's bonkers to me that he stayed there. It's bonkers to me that he gave the speech and victim, basically played victim. And, you know, Will Smith is, you know, one of the greatest actors in our generation, whether you agree with that or not. But for him to go up there and cry means nothing to me. This man can cry on command like none other. Like, I did not buy any of the crocodile tears for absolutely 1 second. And, you know,
because that whole like, oh, family and the
I'm a
and
vessel of love.
It's like, bro, like
these are not the same. These are not same.
Yes.
Like,
So,
go ahead, John.
so this is tough. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why this is tough. You're right. Nobody should lay their hands on anybody. But here's the problem, Dean. And I'm not saying it was right. He made fun of his wife. That's fine, her appearance. You don't know what the situation is. Cancer, whatever it was, alopecia they say it was. You don't know. So was a professional of what he did getting up? Of course not. But I think he's going through his own personal issues at home
100%.
and in his life. And I think that joke was just the breaking point, because he's there with his wife. This isn't a comedy club. They didn't go to you go to a comedy club. I know that I'm in the front row. I could be picked on. This is a prestigious award ceremony. And yet, there's jokes that can be said
all the time.
I understand.
I mean,
but I don't understand why. Like, John, to that point, it's like you would think if I'm going to an Oscars, you would want it to be hosted entirely by other prestigious actors. I don't need to see Chris Rock, the frankly non-relevant actor, just roasting the audience.
Well, do you remember Ricky Gervais?
Comedians alive, bro.
He's a great comedian, but he's not a great actor. No, this isn't the comedian awards. This is not. This is the actors.
But in today's day and age,
Awards.
people need those little clips, right? Like you need something that you could find on social media. This has obviously risen to the top.
They should
of
get
like
Ricky
a
Gervais
joke.
back.
Ricky Gervais, remember
Right.
him?
He fucking eviscerated at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
But just to finish my point, because even us, we rip into each other, but
All
we
the time.
kind of know. But okay. And Zach brought up a good point, because I made a joke. I made a joke on Facebook about Wesley Snipes. And Zach brought up a good point that I didn't think of. Do you remember when, God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman? Chadwick Boseman. He looked so skinny. People were making fun of him. Well, give that guy something to eat or this and that. And then look. So it's like, yeah, okay, he shouldn't have gotten up and smacked him. Of course not. But the joke was, I think it was bad. Just because if you didn't know what it was, if it could have been a serious condition, that joke, I think, kind of crossed the line.
Well, what he could have done is sat there, taken the joke, and when he gave his speech, rip into Chris Rock on the mic, and instead of looking like an asshole, he's the sympathetic one.
But he didn't know he was going to win.
That's true. Well, I mean, they usually know beforehand, but
yeah,
No, they don't. They don't know.
Oh,
but also,
I just think he has issues. I think he has issues behind, like at home.
Oh, I think he was definitely overcome.
There's a mental, like he needs some help maybe, and I think this was just like the breaking point. I thought it was a joke.
I think the thing that bothers me though is he says like, when you're in this position, you deal with all this stuff. Yes, but when you're in that position, you also go home to $1 million mansion and you have luxuries and benefits that the average person could never dream of. And being I don't want to say a vessel, but being something that can be, critiqued by the public, you go out, Will Smith's doing this. And I think that just comes with the level of fame that he's at. Like even us, we're very.
I was about to say,
very
people fucking comment on our shit all the time.
Very minorly famous people, like like X-listers, and we get shit on all the time, and it just comes with like, hey, you know,
people
we get
comments
super
on our
chats.
weight
We get
every time we're in our After Dark. Everyone's like, oh, is this the eating club? It's like, gee, okay, I guess.
Who the fuck's that?
Yeah.
Oh,
We get that every once in a
right
while,
here.
but it comes with the territory, right? And I think to me, you know, I think if Will Smith smacked the shit out of anyone that said anything bad about him, all he'd be doing is smacking the shit out of people. And John, we talked about this, actually, I think just this week before this happened. But I think you got upset about a comment someone wrote, and I was like, hey man, like, if all we did was react, like, give this much energy to a negative comment from, frankly, a nobody. Some goober who never commented on our channel just said something stupid, then we'd never get anything done. Like we got more important shit that we gotta fucking be moving on, and it blows. I can't comprehend what he did, and I further can't comprehend that he was not moved immediately.
He apologized.
It blows. Yeah, the next fucking day.
No,
during the speech.
Rock, Chris Tucker. Not Chris Tucker.
No.
Chris
He did not
Rock.
apologize. That statement was not from him. I know what you're talking about. That's not his statement.
No, but Chris Rock didn't apologize.
No, not yet. The statement that was going around social media was confirmed not to be.
No, but when he was live, didn't he say, "Oh, I'm sorry" or something when it was the live show?
No, he just
Regardless, what could have justified Will is if he apologized when he won the Oscar. Apologizing the next day, if he didn't apologize when he was receiving the award, he shouldn't have apologized at all. I think it made it look worse. Because then it's like he doesn't mean it. He's only apologizing now because of the aftermath. At least if he apologized when he was receiving the award, it would have been like, okay, you know what? I'm going through something. I need to reevaluate myself.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Real quick, Badfish said Zach called the viewers nobodies. No, I did not call the viewers nobodies. I called the one goober on a fake YouTube account a nobody, because he, you know, when people leave like the real hurtful stuff, they'll use a burner account with no name,
of course,
associated with it. So that's the nobodies.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
Not
So
you,
I love every single one of y'all that are in the chat. I know you
an
guys
angel.
were friends on Facebook. We were friends on Instagram. I consider all of you guys friends, but it's the idiot that will change his name to fucking, you know, some stupid ass shit and then comment something stupid. That's
and what really hurt about this is they're actually close friends. These two, they were actually close friends. They used to hang out with families together and all that. So
yeah, well, somebody, I think John, you said you thought it was a joke at first. I think Chris Rock thought he was joking too, because like you said, he was cracking up at that joke.
He didn't even move.
I mean, he really was.
He didn't even move.
Yeah, and he's like, oh shit, he's getting up. Like, what's gonna happen? And then, bah, like, oh fuck, you could hear it. Like, oh, I'm shocked. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. But, bro, if Kanye is banned from the Grammys because he's a loose cannon, I don't think Will Smith should ever be allowed back at these award shows.
Completely agree.
The Academy said they're doing an investigation today and stuff like that. So,
well, what happened to Zach?
I took him out.
Will got to him.
Yeah, it's in fact, who was this just now?
Here it is.
Someone said, where'd it go? That Chris Rock, he's got like 100 pounds on Chris Rock and a couple inches. You imagine if The Rock made that joke, bro?
Jesus Christ.
Will would have just been sitting down in his chair fucking cracking up still.
Can you imagine if the joke was made at Will's expense? Jada would be fucking doing a backflip.
Right, dude?
So, yeah. I'll go on,
go on, Sean. No, you go ahead.
So I'll say a few things. One, it's pretty wild that all this shit happened, but then I think Wanda Sykes and all those like spent like the first half of the show just like roasting LeBron's hairline and stuff like that. So it's like bald jokes and stuff like that aren't off limits, for one. For two, Jada, she has alopecia and she's been public about that. So whether Chris Rock knew that or not, you know, if he didn't know it, he didn't know it. She just thought she had a shaved head for a role maybe or for whatever.
Yeah.
If he did know that, she did an interview on like Good Morning America earlier in the week, and I think posted some on Instagram that's like, I love my hair, I'm owning it, this is who I am now. Like, I don't give two shits about what people think about me. So maybe he heard that and thought like, oh, it's okay to make a joke. So regardless of all of that, the thing that pisses me off about that is Will actually resorting to violence over a stupid joke. Like, it's a G.I. Jane joke. Like, it's a movie that came out 20 years ago. Who cares?
Not only
You know
that,
what I mean?
but G.I. Jane was a badass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he said she was playing some meek, like dying character, right? Like
Yeah.
something real fucked up. It's like
Gollum.
oh, you got shaved head, G.I. Jane. She's a fucking badass. Like,
How
Yeah.
like
dare
it's
you,
not
John?
that bad of a joke, honestly. Like,
really
was it
wasn't at all.
inappropriate? Sure, I'll give you that. Maybe it's just a joke that didn't land.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
to smack somebody over, like, come on, bro. Like, you
Yeah,
can't
and
do
so
that.
and the thing that annoys me is this whole like it's like this 14 it's like a 14-year-old's definition of masculinity. Like, oh, I got to defend my wife by going up and smacking a dude. It's like, no, you fucking be an adult. You take him behind the
Yeah,
scenes and be
use
like, hey
your
man,
words.
yeah, hey man, that really hurt my wife's feelings. Don't make that shit. You know,
And
like,
it's like he doesn't have a platform to do that, right? He's one of the most famous people in the world. He
Yeah,
could've-
Yeah, but
exactly.
Yeah,
you know?
go
that's
on
easy to
Instagram the
say.
next day.
That's easy to say, but when you have all the celebrities in that building and millions of people watching, going backstage, I don't know. I feel
Okay, well, he yelled from a seat. Do that.
yeah, that would have been sufficient.
Yeah, just say what you said.
Exactly.
That would have been sufficient.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the possibilities of what he could have done are vastly
Literally anything
better
else.
than what. Yeah,
Literally anything else.
anything else.
Even with us, sometimes we cross the line with each other, and it's usually like a quick message. I think one time I crossed the line with John. He sent me a message, and we squashed it. It was not a big deal. I think there's much better ways to do it. I think one time I was on a tear, and Dean's like, "Dude, you're being a fucking dickhead right now," and we had to like
Yeah,
dial
I
it back.
did. I was like, bro, you need to fucking calm down. Yeah, like that.
I think there's better ways to do it than just walking
Well,
up.
I mean,
but
even
also,
if he
can you
walked up
imagine
to
if he
him-
was in the balcony and he had to walk all the way down to smack the shit out
he
of Chris? It
wouldn't.
wouldn't have been
That's
as
the
funny.
Bro, like, dude, walk up to Chris Rock,
Put your
get
hand over the
close to
mic
his
and say,
say something like, "Hey, man, like that joke is inappropriate, and we don't appreciate." Like, you could have done that, and, like, brought attention to it, like Sean says, she was very vocal about owning the problem and not caring. Like, okay, well then, like, obviously she's comfortable talking about it. Walk up to Chris and be like, "Hey, man, like, that was fucked up. I didn't like it." Like, that's all you had to do. But to fucking lay your hands on a comedian, bro, like,
You're right,
with
Dean.
the
You just
saddest
can't
slap
happen.
of all time.
who's gonna want to host now?
Yeah,
It's
they're
like, bro,
gonna
I
think
get fucking
twice.
hit.
They're gonna think
You're not
twice
gonna have
before it.
security, a room full of the most, probably the most expensive people. On
I mean,
the
Will's
planet.
lucky he didn't get his ass beat by any
No,
fucking
they're gonna
goons that
think
night.
twice before they tell a joke. That's the thing.
I think the
And
thing that
that's
upset
the
me the
terrible
most.
thing. Like, jokes should be off limit, or jokes should be allowed to be offensive. Like, that's part of comedy, right?
All I know.
Laughing
to
at
a point.
uncomfortable things.
I think the worst part about it was an hour later, after that stupid ass crocodile tear speech, he's dancing to Get Jiggy with it with his Oscar in the club.
Motherfucker thought this was Wild Wild West, slapping people and going back and dancing. Like, bro,
Mark
All I know
Pearson. Go ahead, go ahead, John.
If John Favreau and Filoni were watching the Oscars, I think she would make a great Asajj. That's all. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
Oh,
Will-
shit, what?
Mark
Better lock your
says-
door, motherfucker. Will Smith's gonna come in behind you.
When you feel like someone's fucking with your wife, you handle it then. He just handled it really weird. Funny enough, people have fucked Will Smith's wife, and he didn't handle it then. So I don't
Yeah, man,
know
he-
if that was
went
an
there.
unintentional choice of words. But
And so what everyone is saying here, right? Like putting your hands on another person, like it just can't happen, right? I think there's a Benjamin Franklin quote, and I'm going to paraphrase. It's like, what begins in anger normally ends in shame. And you just, like, I've been a younger man putting my hands on someone else, and it's never the right
really?
answer.
you fucking
Yeah.
scoundrel.
you?
I'm just stupid. Yeah, you just.
I
you
can't
drink
I
too
guess
Can't
much.
even imagine.
I guess it's hard to tell how big you are because you're on a screen.
I'm
He's
still.
like
I'm
6
still.
foot, bro.
Yeah, I'm 6 foot, but goofy. But yeah, you just can't.
It's so funny.
You just can't put your hands on anyone else, and that's like what you hate to see, right? Because there's young, impressionable people watching this, and they're setting an example. They're role models, and whatever you want to say about the comedy, I think comedians should be able to say, like, a lot of offensive things, because sometimes that stuff's very funny.
Gigi says no, he hasn't.
Yeah, Nikki Glaser, a comedian, made a good point about Hollywood preaches all this stuff about toxic masculinity and like the whole like she referenced the Me Too movement and how a room full of people saw this happen and nobody did anything about it.
And then that
And that's
motherfucker
the
got a
problem.
standing ovation.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. It's like,
Not only
bro,
that, but the Oscars tweeted, "We don't condone violence." Like, motherfucker, you let him
Congratulations to
stay
all the
there,
winners. Yeah.
and you let him receive the award and give the longest fucking speech of the night.
Yeah, I think he got like 8 minutes or something.
Yeah, but
Insane.
are you surprised? I'm not gonna get out of context. I'm just gonna say this, but we don't have to get into it. But that's what's happening in the world now. Look at what's happening in the world.
But that's a problem.
That's look at what's happening in the countries next to us. Like, how does that that's ridiculous.
Mexico?
Yeah.
No, not Mexico.
Norway?
Well, he's in Canada, so Russia's literally next to him.
The avocado shortage is not that important, but
the avocado shortage is very important.
Do you think this is fake? A lot of people thought it was staged.
Okay, there's like a clip of Chris Rock's face, and it looks like there's a pad there. But
That's
the
so
thing
shopped.
100%.
yeah,
that's
it
shocked.
looks terribly shopped. The only reason I think an ounce of fakeness is after he slaps the shit out of Chris. Both of them are smiling when he turns around to like walk back to his seat. You can see him.
But people
smiling, and
smile when they're uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it stands to show Chris Rock's character, his professionalism.
1,000%. A consummate. I think the level of professionalism is unmatched.
Yeah,
because he had like 12 things in his brain to say real quick.
He was ready to fucking fire back. The craziest part about this whole thing, if I understand correctly, I think Will Smith was actually nominated for the Oscar of this category. If he won, bananas. Absolute bananas.
Yeah, the whole thing is just really, really, really shitty.
Oh, sorry, buddy, for smacking that shit. I'm gonna leave your Oscar right here on the floor. Thanks.
Yeah.
Was this the best thing to ever happen for the Oscars though? Like literally everyone is talking about it.
There was a meme going around. It's like nobody knew the Oscars was even happening until this did. I was like, that's 100% right. I didn't know. I had no idea the Oscars were going on.
Yeah. Let's move past this. So the Batman. I have this weird toxic trait, Dean, where anytime there's a phone number or a website in a movie, I will call the number or visit the website. And maybe like 20% of the time it actually does anything cool. And so in the Batman film, Mark, remind me what's the website? Rodalada.com?
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, Rodalada.com. It was you could play a little bit of a game. You can unlock some exclusive wallpapers for your phone or your computer. But I believe there's an update. So Mark, I'll let you tell us about what's going on here.
Yeah, so prior to the movie coming out, there were certain Easter eggs that were occurring. After the movie was out, I think the site was updated and there were additional Easter eggs uncovered. And now it's been seized by the Gotham City PD, which is pretty awesome because you'd have to assume this is marketing for the upcoming series, right? So there's the Arkham Asylum series that's been, advertised, and then there's a GCPD one. And I don't know if these are all getting folded in together, but then there's also the one with the Penguin. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool in that when you go to this site now, it's just been seized. So it's like that viral marketing campaign has come to an end, and we're kind of transitioning into the next phase of this Batman universe.
I think
that's so fucking cool.
I think we're living in a really cool time where movies now don't just end at the movies. Now there's shows with the characters from the movies in the shows. I think that's so cool.
It's like things you would dream of as a kid, right? Like you talk about at recess, and like it's happening now.
Dude, I remember kind of one of the first movies that did this kind of marketing, guerrilla marketing, if you will, was Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Each character in the movie had a face or a MySpace profile, and you could go to their MySpace, and there was like little status updates that had like, oh well, what does that mean? And then you like look it up, and then you discover all the shit about the kind of where the monster came from and all the stuff. And
it's a shame the movie sucked. The marketing was so brilliant,
so good. Yeah, Cloverfield's such a good movie.
Awesome.
The internet sleuths hated Cloverfield, bro.
Cloverfield's
the people that were really
awesome.
in there.
Because they thought it was going to be a Godzilla movie and they were let down. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a
wasn't,
fucking
bro.
romantic comedy.
Jesus Christ.
It's and so to see more and more stuff coming out like this is so cool. Now, I think Marvel movies pretty much kind of set the standard on kind of taking stuff from the comics and blending it into this fucking huge tapestry, and now you got the shows with different characters, and those characters are getting their own shows, and this ties in over here, and this guy's in this movie, and or like the thing with like Peter Parker was in Iron Man, what was that, 2? As like a little kid, and like it's so fucking cool to see kind of DC stepping into this world, because they really fucked it up with the Justice League.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. You love to see it.
Yeah, and I like that there's no longer a stigma of like movies versus TV like there was in the 80s and 90s and even kind of early 2000s. Like there was like you were a movie actor or you were a TV actor, and you never crossed over because TV was inferior and movies was where it's at. Now it's like kind of swapped. Like TV is now kind of where it's at.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Movies are there too. So now they're completely intertwining them. So I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Our movie of the week, picked by Dean the Dream Martin, was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The year is 1926, and Newt Scamander has just completed a global excursion to find and document an extraordinary array of magical creatures. Arriving in New York for a brief stopover, he might have come and gone without incident were it not for a nomad named Jacob, a misplaced magical case, and the escape of some of Newt's fantastic beasts, which could spell trouble for both the wizarding and nomad worlds. So I've seen, or I had seen the first Harry Potter many, many moons ago when it first came out, and I liked it. I did not really follow through with that, the rest of the films. I just didn't really care. And then as I got older, knew some people that were really fucking annoying that all they did was talk about them, so I chose not to watch them. And so when I watched this movie the first time a few years ago, for me it was like my first experience in this universe, and I really related to the character of Jacob because he's seeing all this shit for like the first time, like the creatures and like things like the briefcase. Like, I mean, he's just fucking like every scene blown away by like this fucking cool shit, and Newt's just like, oh yeah, this is just like my life, like, and I think that sense of wonder is hard to capture, but I feel like this movie does a great job of doing it. One of my favorite scenes was when the creature was running through Central Park, and it's just fucking bounding, and it's this beautiful creature, and it's just a wonderful scene, and it really reminded me of seeing that first Harry Potter film when I was younger, and again being just amazed by this world that I had read, now seeing it as live action. I think Jacob is the absolute greatest character in... I haven't seen the third one, so I don't know if he's in the third one, but he's in the second one also. And he just steals every scene that he's in. Eddie Redmayne, I think, is the only actor that could play Newt Scamander. I think he's an incredibly talented actor. I believe he's won a few Oscars. But he just does the portrayal extremely well. The creatures are amazing. I think the effects are really good. The plot, once it kind of gets into it, I don't particularly care for. I really just like the first like 2 acts of this film, where it's kind of like that hijinks stage, and then it kind of gets a little bit too heavy for me. But definitely a solid watch. I'm glad that you picked it, Dean, and I'm glad that you're kind of... I don't know if you're binging all of them or if you're just watching these to get ready for the third one, but this was I think my favorite of the 2 that are out thus far. I think the third one actually just came out.
It comes out
but I think
next week or 2 weeks from now.
I think it's
like
not already,
April
'cause when I
9th
looked
or
up
something.
when I looked up this movie, there was already showtimes for it on Google. So maybe they were just super early showtimes.
Like pre-sales.
But
Yeah.
it could be. But this is such a great film, and this film, I don't know why Gigi's saying screw you, Zach. This film,
real aggressive tonight. Damn.
I know.
Calm down, Will Smith.
It took me. Yeah, Marco, be careful, bro. I don't want anyone to lay hands on you.
Yikes! I'm gonna go lock the door.
This film got me back into Harry Potter. So after I saw this one and the second one, I watched, what is it, like the 8 or 9 Harry Potter films, like back to back to back to back. Because you can get them for like $2 on Movies Anywhere, the digital, digital. And so I ended up watching, like, in a week and a half, like 11 or 12 Harry Potter films.
Jeez.
That's crazy because usually it takes you an act of Congress to fucking watch a movie.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap up season 6 of Merlin, so I'm too busy, Dean. I gotta watch season 6 of Merlin.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it, Dean?
Yeah, so I have never been a huge Harry Potter fan.
Shocker that you don't like the good stuff.
I didn't say I don't like it, but I tried to read the book when I was, I think it came out when I was in 6th grade. And I could not read that fucking book. I was like, this book is so fucking boring. I hated it. So when the movies came out, I was a little disinterested, but I watched them, you know, all my friends, let's go see Harry Potter, like, just tag along, like, okay. So, like, I didn't hate the movies, I just, like, wasn't a huge fan, and, like, people dress up like the characters and like, oh, I'm house whatever, and they carry their wands and they have the scarves and shit, and it's like, all right, calm down. So I was kind of with Zach, like, too many people are into this. I'm not really, it's not my thing. Years later, all the movies are out, so it's more palatable, you know, when they're all out. You could sit down and watch it, and I enjoy them a lot more. But again, not the biggest Harry Potter fan. But this movie, I was kind of running out of shit to watch, and both of the movies were on HBO Max. Thank you, Eddie. And the third one's coming out, and I was like, you know what? I might as well. Zach was watching it the other day, and he seemed to like it. I like these movies so much more than Harry Potter. I don't know if maybe it's just the characters are more likable, or like Zach said, it's kind of, you're seeing these movies almost through the eyes of Jacob, and it's this literal world that nobody knows about, the No-Majs, and it takes place in the United States, so it's a little different, right? Everyone's not British, so
hello, Governor.
not that that's a problem, but it's cool, right? Like okay, like you kind of relate to them a little more, or whatever. Of course. You can't really relate to somebody from the 20s. This really takes place in the 20s? I thought it was like the 40s.
Wow.
Because it's post-war, so I guess it's World War One.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was World War Two. I'm an idiot. But I enjoyed these way more than I did watching Harry Potter. Like Zach said, Jacob is a fucking saint, a fucking human cinnamon roll, too good for this world.
I was so sad at the end,
bro.
Like,
me
everyone
too.
loses their memory, and then he's in the second one. I was doing a fucking cartwheel, dude. I was so happy.
Dude, I was so like, it's because everything's so lighthearted and fun, and then like when it's like real serious, it's serious. So there's not really any heartfelt moments. But when it gets to that part where Jacob walks into the rain, it's very sad, and you're like, oh my god, like what a great character, but he's got to go live his life, you know, he's got to go do his own thing. So I was really bummed, and I had not seen previews for the second movie. I didn't know he was in the second movie. So we're talking about the first one. So yeah, this movie was just so much fun. What's his name? The one that plays Penguin.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, amazing. He was such a good, because you think he's, you know, a good guy, and then it turns around and he's fucking Johnny Depp the whole time. Like, holy shit, that was cool. And then the guy who plays the Flash, I'm so bad at people's names.
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
So a really cool character.
You'd be choking the shit out of people, though.
Yeah, very kind of a victim of circumstance in this movie. You feel real bad for him because everyone just like walks all over him, talks shit to him, and when you find out who he really is, you're like, oh shit, he's way more important than I thought he was going to be, which was a nice turn of events for me. Because I liked him and I wanted to see more of him, so that was like, oh, you do get to see more of him because he's who they're fucking looking for. I had so much fun. This movie was really cool. So I recommend it. Gigi loves it. She loves Marco. Obviously, she's got good taste.
She's seen like five movies in her life. So what?
Okay, so maybe okay, but I watch it, guys. If you haven't watched it, sorry for spoiling, but it was fun.
You should have watched it last week.
Yeah,
short and sweet. First, thanks for Zach for lending me his account, by the way, so I can watch it, because here in Canada we don't stream it. But I don't know. I'm not too much of a Harry Potter fan. That whole magic and wizards, like the only wizards I kind of been exposed to that I kind of enjoy is Lord of the Rings. Other than that, I don't know. It was too much for me. I do like the effects in the film, but like going back in time, it's not my kind of movie. The creature concept, though, does that not remind you of like X-Men? Dr. Xavier kind of collects the mutants and to protect them, and that's what I thought of. Is that too outside the box?
It's not that far fetched, but sure.
Yeah, I didn't see that,
but yeah, not my kind of movie. 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience gave it a 79%, and the runtime, I feel like it dragged on, and it was pretty long, 2 hours and 7 minutes. So just please don't pick the second one for the next movie. That's all I ask.
I think you got the
but had a great line of cat like Johnny Depp.
You got the next pick, John.
Okay, we'll talk about it after we hear everyone's opinion.
Unlike John, I like this movie a lot. I too was not. I watched the first few Harry Potters before I was just like, this is not something I'm into. It's too much. It's whatever. I want to watch them eventually. I own them, so I want to watch them eventually. Now that my son's 6, he might be able to do some of them, but we'll see. But yeah, I like this one way more. Like I had a lot of fun watching it. I thought the effects were cool. I thought the story was cool. Eddie Redmayne played a super awkward guy. I don't know the books enough to know whether if that's how he's supposed to be, but he played that well. So I thought the cast was great. Jacob, like you said, is funny, awesome, kind of the heart of the movie. So yeah, I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would. I wish I would have watched this, when it came out, because right after I finished this one, I started the second one. So I will be ready for number 3 when it comes out. But yeah, I think this is a bit more. Whereas Harry Potter, there's a lot of kid stuff, obviously, because it was a kid's book, and it was meant for that kind of adolescent type stuff. And this was more. It wasn't adult per se, but it was more. Just had cooler stuff. I don't know. It wasn't so focused around growing up and stuff like that, where it was just, cool beasts, cool stuff, cool storyline. And yeah, I thought it was cool. I love the time period too, the 1920s and stuff like that. I think that's a cool time period. So, and I think they executed it well. So, yeah.
I'm a bit more with John on this one. I'm not a huge fan of the Fantastic Beasts series. I don't think I've actually seen the second one. I really like Harry Potter. I think Gigi and I both really enjoy those movies, and we've seen them all multiple times. And I like the kid aspects, like also the dark and serious stuff. So this has some of it, but I don't think it leaned enough into like being like Harry Potter for me. And I think they're kind of not retconning that, but like the third movie from the trailers appears to be like, okay, we're like completely in the Harry Potter world now.
Yeah, the second one gets pretty dark and heavy.
Okay, so maybe I need to watch the second as well. But yeah, I like that it was a period piece. But for me, it just Jacob is the nomad, right? That's the guy. I wasn't a huge fan of his character, actually. I know you guys love him.
Oh.
I just kind of thought he was just kind of corny. So yeah, for whatever reason, this one didn't really resonate with me. But that being said, I do want to see the second and the third just to see if as you see all the pieces come together, if it kind of makes a more coherent story for me. But
to be fair, I'm just a huge Dan Fogler fan. And
what else has he been in?
Oh man, he's in all kinds of stuff. I think his first movie was what's that name of that movie where they go to watch episode 1?
Oh, Fanboys.
Fanboys.
Oh,
I think that was his first movie, but he's in all kinds of stuff. Let me see if I can pull up.
He's like one of those guys that you just like know from other stuff.
Oh, the Balls of Fury? Bro.
Yeah, Balls of Fury.
See, he's like good in other stuff, and this, he wasn't like the best to me.
Good Luck Chuck. Like, he's in all kinds of stuff. But, yeah, I think he could play the villain, and I would love it, The second movie is a little heavier, so I think you might like that a little more.
I don't like it. I don't like the second movie.
The second one's
The
very
trailer is a
long.
fucking banger. I was like, yo, this movie's gonna be fucking dope. And I was like, eh. And
Yeah,
then
the
I'm
second
upset
movie-
that they recast Johnny Depp. I can't
Dude,
get
I'm
over that.
pissed
Yeah,
they
me too.
recast him. The second one, yeah, it definitely it felt like it dragged, and then when it ended, I was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, there's a third one coming out. So, but also the fucking two sisters in this movie,
Absolute fucking babes,
beautiful, bro.
My favorite part is
yeah.
when they're like fawning all over him, and he's just like fucking living the life, dude. Shit is so fucking funny.
Yeah, that is. There's a lot of really great characters, and in the second movie, you see it. I guess most of them. So, I recommend watching the second one. You know, the third one's coming out, so they might as well anyway.
Yeah, I think I've always planned to do that. So I think I might just dive in and just see if my opinion changes a little bit.
Can I change it up a little bit for next week?
Yeah, you pick whatever you want, man.
I was thinking.
As long as it's the second one.
Just let me know what you guys think. I
If
thought
you
of it
fucking say
spontaneously.
something stupid.
How about if we watch
If you say a TV show, I'm fucking.
the first episode of Moon Knight
Oh, is it coming out?
tomorrow?
It's out already.
No, it's
Oh,
is it?
Oh, I don't know. I saw reviews
Tomorrow.
on YouTube. I saw reviews on YouTube today.
I guess depending
I
where
didn't
you are in
watch
the
them.
world, but it's tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow.
No shit. I had
So I was
no
thinking
idea.
we could do the first episode.
I'm
Perfect.
right there
Great
with you.
idea, John.
Sweet.
Thinking
so
outside
expect
the box
a
here.
full spoiler review of episode 1 next week.
Next Tuesday.
Well, spoiler light.
Well,
I
no,
don't
we could
wanna
do
ruin
spoiler
it.
because the next episode will be the same day.
Yeah.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's
Those are
already out
Wednesdays.
now, then the second one.
No.
should be out.
It's.
Oh,
I guess-
Pancake.
I guess the reviews were early, but no, it's not.
It comes out tomorrow, so it comes out on Wednesday. If we do our show on Tuesday, hello, if you didn't watch the first episode by the second episode,
I think we should be respectful and do spoiler light. That's my opinion.
Because some people save up to binge it. Is that why?
Yeah, that.
Okay. Then spoiler light.
Spoiler
I'm just
light.
giving.
Yeah,
I'm just
fine.
giving a forewarning. Like we're gonna be talking about it. So
Okay.
how deep we get into it is, dependent on the
With this crew, we're not going too deep though.
3 inches.
Hey, speak for yourself, bro. Speak for yourself.
Marco, what do we got going on the channel?
Yeah, so Gigi and I will be on a bit of a hiatus from the interviews. We've been really having a good, we've got an incredibly busy month with like weddings and stuff. But we are, this week going to record an episode of the She Said No podcast, which we haven't done in
Yay.
forever. And so,
love those.
just getting back to that old format, right? We were kind of missing it. We got a lot of things to discuss. Like Gigi wants a new camera. And I'm like, you got to pay the tax. If it's $2,000, that tax has got to go in the account. I'm sorry, that's how it goes. So
that account's gonna be fucking fat,
right?
bro.
Hey, she's making her money over there. So, but yeah, and then we'll talk about the Razor Crest a little bit and get her thoughts since we haven't put that down on tape. So, and then yeah, when we come back, John, Eddie, I know it's chatted with Dean and Lael all about getting some interviews going in about a month or so. So I think we'll have some really good content upcoming on the channel. Check it out. It's 1/6 fix.
Gigi's backing it out already. No, that's not how it goes.
Wow, I don't think so. But
Why does the
Might have to
banner
talk-
say his 1/6 fix?
it's an old graphic. I'll have to get Zach the new updated Manny graphics.
Their 1/6 fix.
I phased out the
1/6
his pretty
fix.
quickly. Yeah.
Next, it's going to be Weir.
Her 1/6
That's
fix?
right.
That's not good, bro.
Jesus Christ! Don't get CC in the chat on this one. We have, as John says, the 3 pillars here that keep the network going.
The feelers.
I don't like the way you said that at all. Dean, can we give a shout out to these lovely angels?
Yeah, we're going to shout out Sean Fear, Ian Seavey, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Lemur Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giss, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Sweet Danny Lee. I miss Danny, by the way. Where has he been? Deanie Martin, Stephen Krett, Big Fern, King Zach, Susan Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Mike Cruz, Lisa Martin Bomoski, Rick DeGregorio, Alvin Jules, the Handsome, the Gabagool Eater, the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, the Erwin Azucena, the Illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tu Cothry, Wah, Carlos Saavedra. I hope I said that right.
Carlito.
Carlitos Way. Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Domaton, Bola Boy, Jimmy James, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Big Pip, Stephen Maria Stanley, Jesse Contreras, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Parent, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Bam, 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 bam. Has he been in the chat? Where the hell is he at?
He was, yeah.
Oh, was he?
Earlier.
Okay.
I think we yelled at him. In April, we got some great benefits here. We have the 6x4 network sticker sheet. Every logo there is its own sticker, and it comes off looking pretty good there. So that's some cool swag there. We also have the Jumbo sticker. These are going to be shipping out April 20th. If you're a top tier member, you'll also get a package instead of just a letter from us. You'll get the Live and Let Dice D20 exclusive, limited to 25 pieces. And this colorway will not be remade exactly like this. So if you want it to get in, I think we have 5 or 6 more left. So definitely get your orders in for those. We have 3 tiers: the $5 Sweet Angel tier, which gives you access to the stickers and Ox After Dark replay, the crispy certified crispy tier, which is the certificate and figure fix assistance, and the $25 What a Guy tier, which is the Pog Deluxe set on your first pledge when we get them. Doubles of all the stickers we send and all the benefits of the previous tiers. I'm kind of getting a little irked by the Pog guy. I've sent him 3 emails in the past 3 weeks, and he has not written back to me, so I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with that. But hopefully those come in at some point. For our YouTube channel members, we got Mojo Z78, OG Fan, Absolute Irwin, Bama, Test Just One, Mark Pearson, DK Avenger, Ben Thomas, OMFG Rick, Justin Harass, Mike Oxlong, Paul Schreiber, S Beam, Andrew Gibo, Andres IB, CC3PO, Daminator, Lemur Hernandez, Sam Gist, and Carlito. You can join our YouTube membership for 99 cents. If you're a Patreon member, you get loyalty badges and access to all kinds of different collecting weekly emojis. And once we get 4 more members, we will unlock a new emoji voted by the fans, or $2.99 if you're not a Patreon, and that's for the same benefits. For the network, we have Collecting Weekly Live, OFAX, Small Talk, After Dark, In and Outs of Collecting, Ringcast, Live Unboxing, Bricks and Brews, Live and Let Dice, Pose Wars, and last but certainly not least, Collectors Club. John, remind me, which do we have this week? We have Club this week?
In and Outs.
In and Outs. In and Outs, and I believe Small Talk, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. Very cool. We had Bricks and Brews on Sunday, Live and Let Dice, and Ringcast on last Saturday. So
busy week.
Definitely a busy week for the network. Pose Wars is going to be Saturday, April 9th, 2022 of the Lord's year in the Gregorian calendar. I put Pose Wars as 4/9, and Ben Thomas was like, "What does that even mean?" I'm like, "How do y'all do dates over there? Because that's pretty standard affair over here, my friend." We have After Dark tomorrow at 10:30, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a bunch of fun. If you want to... What is this? Wow, I didn't know it was before Iron Man. I don't know what that means.
Moon Knight takes place before Iron Man.
Oh, interesting.
So where the fuck was he?
We have T-Public. If you guys want to support the show, we just put up the Ozol and the Jets shirt. John, to answer your question from earlier, we were in a challenge arena, and we were picked to give a team name, and no one had a team name, so of course I butted in with Ozol and the Jets, and that was like the team name. So
all right, cool.
I kind of usurped because everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know the Midnight Collective." I'm like, that's so lame. I'd have Will Smith smack the shit out of you for that stupid ass name. So Ozol and the Jets, it was. John, can you go and read our socials for me, please?
Yeah, of course. We got on Facebook. We got our main page, Collecting Weekly. We have Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. That's the one you want to be in. Big community page with collection posts, news posts, absolutely everything. Stuff we talk about on the show. We go in there and chit chat. On Instagram, we got @Collecting Weekly. We got @Collecting Weekly _clips for all our funny moments throughout all the shows. We have @The Everyday Collector, and for statue news, the In and Outs of Collecting. You guys got to give each page a nice little follow there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Gang.
Does anyone have any shout outs they want to give?
Shout out Eddie. He's in the chat and I miss him on the show. I love Eddie.
Wow.
Also, shout out Danny Lee. I miss him too. I don't know where he's been.
I want to shout out, again, we mentioned it on the show, but I want to give Bob Dylan a shout out because he took the time out of his day to do that Facebook post about the show, and it was heartwarming.
On his personal page. It's not like he came into Oxford.
Out of his day.
It. He posted on
heartwarming.
his page.
Absolutely heartwarming. Thank you, Dylan, for that.
What a guy. What an absolute guy. Fuck you, Dean.
I don't need that.
Aggressive negotiations.
I'll
Are you
shout
trying
out.
to? Okay, Dean's trying to do a deal with me. Are you trying to get that 1/6 scale version? Is that why you're selling your figure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't want it then. You said
I'll
give me a deal and just like fucking retail.
That's not retail. Retail's like 2 something.
Retail's $189 for
What are you guys
Legolas.
doing a deal for?
He wants to sell me his Asmus Legolas.
Oh.
It's got
That's
vape
retail,
all over
really?
it.
$189. Okay,
got
well,
vape-
give me
it's got
a
vape
real
all over
number.
it.
Don't give me a fucking $50.
I forget the figure that you wanted. And are you getting it from Eric?
Yes.
How much you paying?
I'll tell you off screen.
Okay, because he was trying to pull you under the rug, bro.
Sean.
I love you too, Eddie. You
What's up?
sweet, sweet man. I miss Eddie tonight.
Who are you showing the saber
Yusby,
to?
shout out
Yeah.
to
Shout
Sweet
out
Angel
to
Am I
Mario,
taking?
Professor Oso.
Jesus Christ.
That's not how you say that.
That's not how you say it at all.
He's
I
white.
fucked it
It's
up.
fine. Go.
It's white.
He gets
yeah, sorry.
the pass there.
I'm a gringo through and through. So yeah, shout out to him. Hot commodity. Love this thing. I have all the legacy sabers. So thanks to Smuggler Mario for getting this for me.
Wow.
When you say you have all the legacy sabers, what does that mean?
I have all of them except for Asajj and the Jedi Temple Guards. I
Are
have
those the ones that are specific to Disney? Is that a legacy
Yeah,
saber?
Disney
Awesome,
exclusive
damn.
ones,
I
yeah.
didn't realize you went that hard on that collection. That's sick.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would go. I had a pass forever, so over the past like 4 or 5 years since we, when did it open? It opened in, it opened almost 4 years ago, something like that. So yeah, I would go, a few times a month and just pick one up here and there and stuff like that. So just over the course of a few years, plus the Discord, you can, smugglers would get them for you too if you weren't there. So yeah, go
Awesome.
big or go home, bro.
Sounds like you deserve this one a little bit more than me. Just a little bit.
Wow.
Eddie says
Anyone
I
else?
should just throw it in the garbage.
Everyone in the chat, of course.
Wow.
Okay, Eddie. Okay,
I'm going to
Eddie.
give you
Yeah,
one
shout
more
out-
shout out, Zach. I know I already busted this
Oh,
out
look
one
at
more
this.
time, but we were
Look
supposed
at
to watch
this.
it this weekend, but it will be going down this week. I cannot wait to watch it. I should
So
have been watching this instead of
2021.
the stupid Fantastic Beasts.
What the
No, I'm
fuck,
joking.
bro?
Wait, actually, did John? Oh, John did pick his movie. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm gonna give a reverse shout out to fucking. Let me make sure I got this company's name right because they fucking pissed me off today.
Oh, I love reverse shout out.
Reverse shout out to Jada Toys. I bought their 1/18th Batmobile. They were like bragging that it was in stock from Jada Toys Next Level, and I bought it on the 18th and it hasn't shipped yet. And I sent them an email and I was like, "Yo, why hasn't this shipped yet?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry, our email was down Friday." I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with shipping my fucking thing from like 11 days ago? That doesn't make any sense. So reverse shout out to Jada Toys, you motherfuckers.
Jada Toys?
That's awful.
Fuck.
They got back to my email literally in like 45
Well,
seconds.
what did you expect? They were at the Oscars. They weren't going to ship it while they're at the Oscars. Oh, fuck.
Wow, that was a good
That was
joke.
amazing.
That was a spicy one, John. That was spicy.
No more Will Smith jokes after tonight, please. I don't want to see it in the chat.
At least on After Dark. Then,
Okay.
You know.
Fuck.
Anyways.
Sick of this.
I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Marco.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.